Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Simuleos, and I just realized my setup's a bit off. Yeah, that's a bit better. Anyway, hey guys. Oh my gosh, I can't speak at all. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Wineball, Lord Lycan, C252, Jerry Licious. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Also, C252, thank you so much for the how many months is that? 12 month subscription? Jesus. Sim Yule Cow. Now I have to do that, what, 12 times? I really need to do things for people who are subscribed. What is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bam! I really need to do things for people who are, like, you know, subscribed for longer than, like, 6 months. I need, like, a 3 month and a 6 month and a 12 month. I need to do stuff for people, but it's just, it's been a while. How are you guys? I hope you're having a wonderful day. According to, B-Movie Bot seems to be a bot I don't want on this channel. If it gets annoying, I'm gonna have to ban this guy, aren't I? Ah, gosh darn it. The moment I get back, I have to ban some random bot in chat. Oh, never mind. Thanks, C250. Appreciate it. Oh, man. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time in quarantine because of COVID-19. And yeah. How's everyone been doing? Why would anyone make a B-movie bot? I don't know. I mean, of all the bots to make, I've certainly seen more useless bots. You know, like, for me, the drink water bot's pretty useless, but I can see it being useful for other people. I don't know, guys. I haven't been able to stream. I haven't been able to do anything recently. It's been a while, and I'm pretty happy to be back. So, I guess long story short, let me just, I guess, open up Zernal PP and let's talk about where we're at, where we're going, why we're talking about Easter algorithms, a whole bunch of cool stuff that's been happening recently that I really want to talk to you guys about, but I haven't been able to because I just haven't been able to stream recently. So let's go ahead and get started. Zernal PP. Right, so long story short, I think my last, when was my last stream? My last stream was, it had to have been just before I left for Caltech, so it must have been mid-February, probably around this week was my last stream, some sort of mid-February stream. So basically, I got to MIT, I started working at MIT for a week or two, I found my footing, and then I started streaming for the next 2 weeks, did it somewhat regularly, and then I couldn't do it anymore. And the reason I couldn't do it anymore was simply because my neighbors were, say it with me now, loud. Super loud. Like, I just wasn't able to like even be in my apartment because they were so loud, you know? So I just couldn't stream. I couldn't stay in my apartment. I was constantly going to the office. I told my landlord about it a few days ago, and since then it seems like my downstairs neighbor is being a bit quiet. I'm going to try to stream again. And if it ends up being that I'm too loud, and that my neighbors start complaining that I'm, you know, the one that's making a lot of noise, then in that case, I think it's totally fair for me to stop streaming again. After all, I asked them to be quiet. If they ask me to be quiet, I totally understand. I start web classes today at my school. The thing that my school uses Google Meet, and it somehow allows students to kick and mute each other. Oh no. And our teacher. One of our classes had to be canceled because our teacher kept getting blocked. What on earth? So, I mean, in that case, I would honestly recommend them to use like YouTube Live or something like that. It's one of those things where I did want to make a video teaching teachers how to teach online. That is to say, just showing them some software to use, saying that, hey, here's YouTube Live, here's Twitch, here's ways in which you can interact with your students. They're perfectly normal. They're used to chatting anyway, unlike, you know, Twitch chat and stuff like that. So this interaction might be awkward for you as a teacher, but it's not awkward for students, you know? So I was going to go through the whole thing, but I think Coding Train wanted to do it as well, and I think that Coding Train would be a bit better for that. My history teacher realized, so he streamed on YouTube instead. Honestly, I think that YouTube's a wonderful platform for people because you can create an unlisted video, and yeah, it works out pretty well. Right, so why am I back? So I was kind of going to be gone indefinitely until I moved to a new place, and I was going to try to figure out ways to make everything work out. And, you know, I kept doing my work at MIT. And don't get me wrong, my work at MIT is wonderful. If you don't know, I'm currently working on the Klima project, which is Klima. Oh, let's try that one again. Klima.caltech.edu. It's actually a really, really cool group of people filled with a bunch of very interesting people. And if you're interested, we are hiring for people in a research software engineering role. So if you're interested in doing research software engineering for climate science or something like that, please definitely apply. It would be for the Caltech branch, I think. So you'd get to go to this actually quite beautiful place in California. It'd be nice. But yeah, definitely check it out if you're interested. The point is, I've been working more and more on this project, and I really like it. It's a lot of fun. But I've been thinking about where I want to be as a researcher, where I want to be as a person. And I'm kind of realizing more and more what I said at the start of the year is probably true. I think that we have something special that we can do here that we couldn't do anywhere else. And I just keep coming back to this. And so I think if I'm going to keep coming back to it, I should just do it. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to make it so that in the next few months or whatever, we kind of build up enough of a background that we can make this a thing, you know? I see lots of Korean teachers here in Scientech on Twitch. That's probably fair, right? I mean, it's a good place to be, honestly. But yeah, so here's my kind of tentative plan, right? I wrote down a list of all of the videos and algorithms that I can write about and I can make videos on for the next basically year. I've got enough video content to do the entire year. So I came back to this idea that I talked to you guys about last year, and I didn't do it, but I really want to do it, and I know it's a bad idea, but I want to try it, and it's called Algorithm Advent. Right. So, hey Vexatos, how are you? I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm a new streamer. I basically took over this old streamer's channel. He was old news. He kept calling himself an idiot, when clearly he wasn't, and he lost everyone in chat. So, right, I'm JamesBot, I guess. I don't know how to run with this. Okay, so if you guys don't know, because you guys weren't here last December, there was this thing that I wanted to do called Algorithm Advent, where basically every day from December 0th, which would be January 31st, to December 25th, I put a new video out on the channel. Most of them are going to be algorithm videos, but some of them will be videos about, just like code review videos or something like this, things that are algorithm related, but not necessarily about algorithms, right? And so the idea is that I need to put one video out every day for the month of December. And you might be asking, why am I January 31st? December 0th is January 31st. Hey, non-sensation. Right. So the idea would be that in order to get this done, I'm actually going to have to backlog. Oh my gosh, you're right, C252. I'm sorry, November 31st. And it'd be November 30th as well, because there isn't a 30. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. November 30th. 30th. 1 second. Let me get this right. November 30th. That's what I want. I'm sorry. And then I put out a video on like December 28th as well, or something like that, talking about like New Year's resolutions and stuff. But anyway, point is, in order to get this done, I actually have to backlog a lot of videos. So for example, let's take the month of April, right? Month of April, okay? And the month of April, I would like to put a video out every other week. So let's say there's 4 weeks in April, 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 1 and 3 would be videos I publish, and 2 and 4 would be videos that would then go into this algorithm advent idea. Let me try redrawing that line, right? So this would mean that there'd be a lot of content that's on the algorithm archive that doesn't appear anywhere but on the algorithm archive, right? And then slowly but surely I build up videos throughout the year until eventually in December I just put them all out consecutively, one after another. I don't know if this is a good idea. In practice, it could be. Because if you do one video a day, right, the YouTube algorithm will pick you up, right? And December is specifically a good month because a lot of people are watching in December. So it could be really good. And as long as I can put out videos, every other week, I think that's a pretty good idea. It's a lot of work, but I don't know. I'm getting into the mood again. I'm getting pretty excited about it. So I kind of want to try it. So that means starting now, I need to actually start preparing for it. So this would mean there's going to be a lot of stuff that I've done on Twitch, I'm going to be doing on Twitch. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to put into the algorithm archive, a lot of things that just are going to be there, but not in YouTube yet. And then at the end, I'm just going to put a video out every day, and we'll just kind of learn algorithms together one at a time. I'm excited by it. I really am. And I wanted to make it like a mainstay of the channel and stuff like that. So, I don't know. It's just stuff I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I really want to try it out. So, that's Algorithm Advent. And that will be done, obviously, during Christmas. So now let's talk about the holiday that I actually want to talk about today, which would be Easter. Okay, so I think, unless I screwed up miserably, yeah, Gauss's Easter algorithm. Oh boy. So he wants to hear about 19th century drama. This is probably, no, this is definitely the most drama I've heard from this era I've ever. Like, it's an incredible amount of drama related to Easter, and it's so cool. It's so cool. Oh no, I spent enough time with numerical recipes book. Right, I mean, in essence, we're redoing numerical recipes, so it's kind of, you know, it makes sense that we have something like that happening. I don't know. I guess before going into Easter, I want to talk. I should catch up with everyone. How's everyone doing? How's your life been for the past month or so? I know things have been going a bit crazy. I think things have been crazy recently. Wow. Okay. Things have been going poorly recently since 2020 started. Lots of things have been going like just weird, you know, like the whole coronavirus thing. Like now a lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are stuck at home. I don't know. It's just, it's insane. So if you guys are dealing with the stress, if you guys are dealing with being alone all the time, you guys are dealing with maybe parents or siblings potentially even being infected by the coronavirus, which may not be may not be the most typical sense, but could definitely be happening. Yeah, feel free to talk about it, guys. Part of the reason I love this community is that you guys are willing to talk about anything. And if you guys need someone to talk to, you want to hang out, talk about algorithms, I feel like it's my duty to be here and let you guys do that, you know? Like, I think it's the best thing I can do to help out during this time, besides, you know, probably educate people about how viruses spread or something like that. But I think being here, chatting, hanging out, talking about something productive, just enjoying time together, I think this is actually one of the best things to do when you're stuck in a situation where you can't be particularly social, you know? Hey, Trash Talk, how are you? Let's see. You remind me of Ashton Kutcher from the movie Steve Jobs. I don't know why. Probably because of my ridiculous hairstyle right now, because I wasn't able to get a haircut since I moved here, and I look like, I mean, along with the beard and everything, man, I look like I'm in a lot of trouble. This self-isolation is the easiest thing I've ever done. I guess for a lot of people, like if you're, how do I put this? If you're if you were already self-isolating before the self-isolation, it's probably not that big of a deal. In my case, like, because I'm pretty much an introvert anyway, it's not so big of a deal. And in my case, I actually have a pretty good working office here, so it's not so bad. But I can imagine for a lot of people, it could be quite bad. 1 second, I have to check something on my side screen. Sorry, it's just one of my friends is sick, so I wanted to make sure that they were doing okay. They just told me they were sick just a second ago, so. Okay, good. Just checking up on them. Is the stream stuttering for anyone? Oh, I bet I know why. Oh no, I have quality options. Okay. Mine was for a second. Crap. I don't know how to fix that if there is stream stuttering. Is it stuttering on my end? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be stuttering. I seem to be okay. Because I live in such a rural place, it's not really much different. Is the stream stuttering for anyone else? Mine was for a second. I've been staying at home for the duration of spring break, and my life just didn't change at all. I'm like, nothing changed, but it's inconvenient because now I have to do everything over SSH now. Right, yeah, that's another big problem I've been having as well. Like, everything is over SSH. I can do some local development, but it's not exactly great because, I mean, I've got my GPU, but I mean, if you want to do multi-GPU stuff, I guess I'm used to doing things over SSH, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just there's slightly more latency from here because I also have to VPN into MIT, and it's a whole ordeal, right? Let me check to see if I dropped frames, because maybe I did. Oh, it did say I dropped frames. Huh. Okay. I've never had that happen before, so I don't know how to fix that situation. But it looks like my bitrate is roughly consistent at 2000, I think. Let me check something real quick. Settings. Stream. Oh, output. Yeah, my bitrate's at 2000. It can't really be much lower without it like being impossible to read the screen and stuff like that. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about Easter. Why? Because it's March. And March 21st is actually I think March 23rd here is theoretically the first day that we could potentially have Easter, okay? Now, let me explain. So Easter is a weird holiday, right? I mean, there's rabbits that seem to lay eggs, and they kind of scatter them all over the floor for some reason, and then you have to pick them up, and then you give them to your parents, and your parents are like, oh, wow, yeah, so exciting. It's such a weird holiday when you think about it. Like, what is going on here? Why are we celebrating this weird thing? I don't know. It's weird. Obviously, if you're a Christian, there's a lot of background there as to why you're celebrating the holiday, but that's beside the point. What I want to talk to you guys about today specifically isn't about how weird the holiday is, but actually how weird it is to figure out the date of the holiday. Because technically, Easter could be anywhere from March 23rd to April, I want to say 28th. Something like this. Right? So there's literally that's meant to be an 8, but you can't read it because I'm an idiot. Let me try this again. 8. So it could technically be between anywhere from March 23rd to April 28th. That's a huge variation for a holiday, right? It's pretty close to the Persian New Year. I think maybe the Persian New Year is celebrated in much a similar way. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm not sure because I don't know this. But I do know that the reason Easter is, from March 23rd to April 28th is because it's actually held the Sunday after, one second, it's called Paschal full moon. So this is the idea. It's a moon. Let me try that again. Moon. So that's the that's when Easter is, right? It's a very weird date. It's very weird. It's weird that this is the date, but that's when it is, right? So you have to figure out when the full moon is. And then the Sunday after that would be the Sunday of Easter, right? So that's kind of the whole deal, right? And that's why it's so hard to calculate the date. Let's see. First Sunday after the first full moon after the start of spring. That is actually what it is, right? It's a weird moon thing. So the reason March 23rd would be the first day in which you could celebrate Easter is because March 21st is going to be the day in which it's the spring equinox. Technically, the equinox can be anywhere from the 20th to the 23rd, but the Pope just said, look, the equinox is always celebrated on the 21st, right? So because the Pope said it's always celebrated on the 21st, and that would mean that the Paschal full moon could at best be on the 21st. Maybe the 21st is the earliest date. It's actually really confusing. I'm not really sure. Persian New Year is always the 20th. Oh, right, because of the equinox, right? Like, it's somewhat related to this. It's the equinox, but then it's supposed to be the Sunday after the equinox because people just decided to celebrate it on a Sunday. It's kind of a weird thing. But what I want to talk to you guys about isn't so much... It is a weird date to find. It is definitely a weird date to find. Hey, Gibbous, how are you? Things are going okay. How about for you? There's a bit of drama related to this, like an incredible amount of drama. So, how do I put this? In the lunar calendar, Easter is a constant date, right? Because it's just a few days, or it's the Sunday after the Paschal full moon, or however you pronounce it, right? I may have mispronounced this. I may have even misspelled it, but the point is, it's the first full moon after the spring equinox. So this would basically mean that in the lunar calendar, again, Easter is a constant date. But the issue is going from the lunar calendar, where things get really weird, from the lunar calendar to the Gregorian calendar. All right. And now, as you could imagine, so, okay. Now, what is a Gregorian calendar? The Gregorian calendar is a calendar that we typically use. It's Monday through Friday, 365 days in the year, this type of thing, right? So going from the lunar calendar to the Gregorian calendar is actually a bit difficult, right? Specifically because for finding the date of Easter, which is some weird mix between the lunar and Gregorian calendars, right? So, this is the part that kind of blew my mind. This is the reason I have to talk about it. So let me talk about Easter algorithms. I misspelled algorithms. Of all words to misspell, like algorithms, come on. But yeah, so this computation, the computation of Easter every year, is called computus, right? Or is typically referred to as computus. Now, this word is actually a general term for any sort of calculation. But the term for calculating Easter was such an important thing to calculate that they basically said any computation, right? Like the two terms became conflated because the number one thing that people were calculating during this time was Easter, right? So it's really kind of an interesting thing where like calculating Easter was the only thing people were calculating at the time. It was kind of blew my mind thinking about that, right? And throughout the eras, like here's the era 725, and someone already mentioned that the calculation of Easter was off, right? So I think basically after like 300 AD or the 3rd century, 222, the Pope was like, all right, let's try to find a way to calculate this. And so since basically 200 AD until about 1800 AD, right? So this is literally 1600 years. Calculating the date of Easter was an open scientific question, right? It was so open, in fact, that some of the early proceedings of Nature, the current publication, it's like, Nature being the current publication journal, like the big one that everyone wants to publish in, actually published a few papers specifically about the calculation of Easter, right? It's kind of insane. So going down, we have all this theory section about when Easter is, all this kind of stuff. You keep going. Here's the distribution of all the different Easter days. So it's the 22nd to the 25th, 22nd of March to April 25th. That's kind of the range. And then you also see that depending on whether you're using the Julian or the Gregorian calendar, you have two different sets of dates. You have the Western and the Eastern, where the Western people were like, we're going to use this set of dates, and the Eastern people were like, we're going to use this set of dates. So you already see a schism in the church based on the Eastern and Western people, based on the calendar that they use. Keep going. And here we are. Algorithms. Okay. So here I am reading this thing about Easter algorithms, and I'm like, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Reading, and then I'm like, let's look at the algorithms to calculate it. The first one you see is obviously Gauss's Easter algorithm, but the next thing you notice is that actually we have this anonymous Gregorian algorithm, Mias's Julian algorithm. We have a bunch of different algorithms, like a huge number of different algorithms specifically to calculate Easter, and this one was published in 1991. I mean, what? What? That means that this calculation of Easter is still somehow an open question. I don't know. It's insane. Let me go ahead and catch up on chat. I booked to figure out whether to go to community college meeting earlier at community college, but now it's all up in the air. Oh, wait. I think I missed some more. Hey, give this person New Year's always 20th. Look, I mean, if you have questions about whether you should go to community college or not, I mean, I figure people in this community are probably some of the best people to ask, right? Like, they're probably going to know what makes sense to study and what's not. So maybe ask, it's up in the air because of coronavirus. Okay, right, my bad. I misunderstood that. It's Sunday after full moon, so I'm guessing if the equinox was on a Sunday, it still wouldn't work because it's not after. Right, yeah, I think you're right. So 22nd would be the first day. Wasn't there a Catholic schism over this? Oh boy, there were so many schisms over this. Like so many schisms. Like this is like one of the craziest things. So actually people developed the Gregorian calendar specifically to make the calculation of Easter easier. And yet some people said after the generation of the Gregorian calendar, it was impossible to calculate Easter. This is like, it's insane. It's like, and this is like, I'll talk about it later. Gauss's Easter algorithm is essentially like early software engineering, where he published something and then people kept, I don't know, if the stream skipped, I'm sorry about that. I may have dropped a frame or something like that. But anyway, I'll keep catching up on chat, then I'll keep going. I remember the schism is about the nature of God. Oh yeah, there's lots of schisms. Like there's so many schisms. That's why you have so many denominations. Right. It's probably not the actual date of Easter. No, it's definitely not the actual date of Easter. It's just when we celebrate it. I actually did a video a long time back when my channel was on a different set. Like it was for different topics, you know. It wasn't about algorithms at the time. It was just about whatever I felt like talking about. I made a video specifically about Easter. And in that video, I talked about why, you know, there's bunny rabbits and, you know, ducks and eggs and all this kind of stuff. It's basically the Catholic Church at the time, like maybe 100 AD or something like this, was very heavily ostracized. Like no one wanted to be a Catholic. So what they did is they took over a bunch of pagan traditions, and some of those pagan traditions were related to fertility and birth, therefore rabbits and eggs and stuff like this. So it ended up being like this renewal celebration that all kind of wrapped up into this whole Christian celebration as well. Irma schism is probably, let's see. Why isn't it an equal distribution? You are asking a good question, and I don't know if I have an answer to that exactly. Right, so I guess, so this is a distribution of Easter for the complete 5,700,000 year cycle, right? So, right, it's kind of normal in this range, right? And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so then there's 7 days here where it's kind of tapering off, and I guess 7 days there where it's tapering off as well. And it's kind of a peak right here. I don't know why the peak is up there. But my guess is that because it's like the Sunday after the Paschal full moon or whatever, it kind of, there's like a 7-day ramp up and ramp down or something like this. There's something like that going on. I don't really know the actual reason. It's up in the air because of the coronavirus. I don't know whether the appointment will be canceled. Are we doing this for the archive? Yes, I definitely want to put this in the archive because I don't know. I just want to talk about it, and I want to talk to someone about it. The Gregorian calendar also made working the economy easier because of regular, i.e. around 30 days each month. Right, but the thing is they already had the Julian calendar. So the only difference between the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar is that the Julian calendar is off by 1 day. Where is this? Julian calendar. Oh, come on. There has to be like a link somewhere. Julian calendar. Oh no. I'm going the wrong way. Julian calendar. Come on. Come on. Here we are, Julian calendar, all the way up here. So the only difference between the Julian and Gregorian calendar should be that the Julian calendar is off by a day, whereas the Gregorian calendar is not. Something like this. I'm not really sure. Let's see. I'm not in the US, so I can't help. Yeah, I can't help too much either, even though I am in the US, you know. The budget was simpler to plan because of the Gregorian calendar. Let's see. Have you heard about the fascist calendar? I have not, and I don't know if I want to hear about it, if I'm being honest, but go ahead and link it. I'll take a look. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys specifically about the algorithm I wanted to cover for the first attempt at covering Easter algorithms, and that would be Gauss's Easter algorithm, right? So the idea was that I could turn this into a bit of a series on the channel, kind of like Vihart's Pi Day rants. I kind of want to do like an Easter algorithm type of thing every year. I think that'd be kind of fun, you know, just as a way to get my feet wet and start making algorithms, or start talking about algorithms again. Right, so there's a lot to talk about this particular Easter algorithm. It's actually kind of insane. Right, so first of all, everyone knows Gauss, right? Like raise your hand if you don't know who Gauss is. Gauss is a bit of he's like a superhero. He's a mathematical superhero, Gauss. He's an incredible person. So he how do I put this? So Gaussian elimination is named after Gauss. He came up with the fast Fourier transform algorithm before Fourier transforms were even important. So the Cooley-Tukey method, he came up with a version of the Cooley-Tukey method like hundreds of years before Cooley-Tukey ever even lived. Gauss also created Gauss's law, which is one of the fundamental laws for electromagnetism and stuff like that. He is an incredible mathematician. And so here he is trying to figure out the date of Easter every year, which, you know, if you don't know about why it's complicated, it doesn't seem like a particularly complicated thing to do, right? Like, it's just the date of Easter. How hard could that be? But he failed at it like 5 times. You know, he first published an algorithm in 1800, right? And this kind of worked out, but it didn't work out for any years past 4200, right? So you could only get up to the year 4200 with his 1800 algorithm, which is fine. It's a good working approximation. But lo and behold, a user came in and was like, hey, Gauss, you did this wrong. You got to fix it. So, he went back and he fixed it, And then again, another user came in and was like, you broke this. So then he had to fix it again. And then someone else came in and he had to fix it again. So in the end, he published about the Easter algorithm like 6 times. And it wasn't until 1816 that one of his students came in and finally corrected one of his variables that it ended up being correct for, I think, the whole 15 million year cycle or whatever that we're talking about within the Gregorian calendar's restrictions. So, this is Gauss, one of the most intelligent people of his time, and he failed miserably at calculating or at finding an appropriate algorithm to calculate Easter. But the story gets better, right? So, Gauss, apparently, was never told the actual date of his birth, right? He was just told by his mother that it happened 7 days before Ascension Day on a Wednesday, or something like this, right? And so he only knew Ascension Day was related to the lunar calendar. So the legend goes that Gauss actually first calculated the date of Easter, and then used the same algorithm to calculate his own date of birth, which he didn't know. It just has so many just weird things about this particular. It's one of those things that I love talking about, the history of algorithms. This is one of those algorithms that's just man, this thing fundamentally pushed the boundary of human knowledge forward for millennia, and more than that, it caused so much drama. It was just insane. At some point, some of Gauss's compatriots were like, hey, Gauss, I think you did this wrong. Could you maybe provide, some sort of comments on your algorithm, like comments in code? Just tell us how this works. And instead of explaining how it works, Gauss basically said, hey, this algorithm just relies on higher order math. He didn't explain how it worked at all. He just said it's math. How arrogant do you have to be to not provide any comments? Just be like, yeah, it's just math. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like Gauss would have been an awful software developer. That's kind of what I'm getting from all this. Let's see, what do we have here? Have you heard about the fascist calendar? I was in Rome a while back, and some of the buildings had their date of creation in the fascist calendar. I've not heard about this. I'm actually a bit unsure what my career should be in general. My passion is for the arts, a career in which I could be a constant roll of the dice. But my skill set is in technology and math, a career in which is a high demand but constantly in flux. Hey, there are some really cool people out there that mix the two, and I don't know if you're particularly interested in it or not, but I mean, there are certainly a huge number of computational creativity algorithms and methods and journals and stuff like that. If you wanted to do something in between arts and technology, there's so much to do, I don't think you necessarily have to make a choice just yet. You can kind of work between the lines, and I think Foldster would be a great person to ask about this. Also, Dan Schiffman from Coding Train would also be pretty good. I'm guessing the not equal distribution is caused by the fact that it is the first Sunday after, because certain dates will have more wiggle room. Right. Era Fascista. What is this guy? Oh, gosh. 1 second. Oh, crap. My mouse is double clicking, and it sucks. Okay. I need to get a new mouse, but... Nice. Okay. I'm a scientist. My career is also rolling dice. Yeah, that's how it is nowadays. I'm in late. Personally, I think the Hebrew calendar definition of Pesach must be allowed for. Seems key to me that Easter must follow Passover. It does. Actually, the Paschal full moon or whatever is literally translated in Greek, I think, to the Passover full moon. It's the same thing. I wonder if Gauss would have done better work or worse work with a computer. This code, just math. Can I share an interesting algorithm? Yeah, please do. Just do what you want. Life is really too short. C252. Come on. I don't know. Every positive integer is a sum of 3 palindromes. What? I mean, sure. I guess I'd believe it. But what? Let me get some water really quick. Also, good news. Wikipedia has exceeded 2 million articles. Woo, yeah. I thought it was 6 million. Trash talk statement is still true. The paper tells you how to compute 3 palindromes for any given number. Whoa, okay. Let's take a look. Every positive integer is a sum of 3 palindromes. Oh man, they have a whole bunch of graphs I can't understand. I'd have to read it thoroughly, I think. And I'm very bad at reading things thoroughly. If you haven't really, noticed it as to how I read chat. Somethingorwhatever.com. Here's an implementation. What? Let's do this. H here. Let's go. What if the answer is no? What if I don't want to see anything amazing? What if I just want to like go about my life, like normal life, without seeing anything cool? Okay, I guess I scroll. I can write any positive number as a sum of 3 palindromes. Right. That means 3 numbers that read the same. Right? Yep. As forwards. Yep. Yes, I can do this for any whole number bigger than 0. Don't believe me. What? What is this website? Okay. Let's write a number in this box. 0. Okay. 0 equals 0. Okay. That's correct. Okay. Let's do 5i. Come on, man. If it doesn't work for imaginary numbers. Right, let's just do something complicated then. Try to overflow it. Let's do it. Uh-huh. Right? Crap. So anyway, how are you guys? I think this might be a while. Yeah, it might be a while. But at least it's going from the other side as well, right? So. No, the website's amazing. This is one of my favorite websites I think I've ever been on. Like, holy cow. There's so much effort put into this website. Okay, let me stop trying to break it then. I'll just be amazed. 5. 5 equals 5. 0. Okay, right. That's definitely a sum of 3. 515 should be 515 plus 0, 0, right? Yep. Okay. Right. I think I see how they're doing this. So then we're gonna do 5, 2, 5, 4, 5. Let's try this. So, right. Yeah. Okay. I see exactly what they're doing. Right. Right. This makes sense. So basically, all they're doing is they're just like picking the highest number. Yeah. I can see how they could do this, right? So each of these, so this is, yeah, let me just try something else. I don't know how to describe it, but I think I understand how they're doing it, right? Like, 5i isn't positive, you just played yourself. Oh, does it have to be positive? It just says any number. Oh, does that not work? 4? Oh. Okay, but surely it can do negative numbers as well. I mean, where does it say positive integer? It doesn't say positive integer anywhere, except for here on the paper. But like, come on. I don't think you can do greedy algorithms like that. Okay, yeah, well, I need to look at it maybe a bit more. I cannot read the Chaos S2 MVP. Thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. Sorry I mispronounced your name. I can do this for any whole number bigger than 0. But why can't it do it for negatives? I can do it for negatives. I think they're just being dumb. Incredible. It really does work for any number. Scroll back up and try another one. Who made this? Like, what is somethingorwhatever.com? This website's amazing. Screw the algorithm archive. His name is Christian Perfect? No. Oh, this website's amazing. This guy's great. Do I know him? I feel like I know him. I don't know. Maybe I don't. What do we have here? The Price is Right. I'll take 2.1 million, please, Bob. Any number. I do not say it was an academic implementation. Let's stop trying to break it and be amazed. It's false. They didn't prove that you can spin numbers. 5 eyes and positive. We just played yourself. I don't think you can do a greedy algorithm like that. I can do this for any whole number bigger than 0. They just spent too much time spinning the words and not enough implementing. Truly blessed man. This guy's great. Honestly, like, pretty good. Did it say any number? It does say any whole number bigger than 0. I just didn't read it because I was too focused on this any. Right? Like, it was just too big. So it's like, I can use it for any whole number bigger than 0. Which, you know, might be a bit. Oh, this website's amazing. Thanks, Gibbous. I appreciate that. Right, okay. I need to get off that site. Oh, I should have kept it. Oh, now I don't know where it is. Something wrong. I need to remember this website. I want to email the guy afterwards. Okay, nice. So I guess the point of today's episode, right? Agent Argent Thromer, thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months. I'm gonna go ahead and put the 6 Simul cows in the chat. Simul cow, 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you so much for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the support. I know I haven't been streaming recently. I'm gonna try to be streaming more frequently. But we'll see how it goes. You know, like, I don't know. We'll see. So the algorithm starts by counting the number of digits of n. If n is less than 7 digits, the proposition 4.1 from section 4 shows how to write n as a sum of 3 palindromes. If n is 7 or more digits, we apply the general algorithm that we present in the next page. Yeah, fair enough. For those integers with at least 7 digits, the starting point consists of assigning a type n according to the following classifications. The type will define the lengths, and the first digits also oh my gosh, I can't read. Coronavirus has taken my reading capabilities. I need to get off the site. It's just too much. It is too much going on. But yeah, guys, I really do appreciate all the support. I am genuinely going to be trying to stream more frequently, and like I said before, I really do want to try to turn this into a career, I think, this year. Which is why I want to start talking about, algorithm advent soon. I'll probably be doing a lot of that here on stream. But I won't be doing it, like, I don't know. We just need to figure it out, The Simul cow squashed. My favorite one is the Simul cow black and white. That's my favorite one. Because it's the same thing. 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to move my laptop back over to where I can easily reach it. Actually, maybe I can put it here. So then I have a side screen over here with like notifications and stuff, and then yeah, this will work. Okay, cool. So let's talk about what we want to do today. So today it's gonna be a bit of a boring episode, as all my episodes are. Thanks for noticing. And it's gonna be talking about Computus essentially. I want to learn. I want to understand what this is. Right, so let me show you what I've got already for the algorithm archive. So I'm gonna move that over there, CD projects, algorithm archive, L is here. And what am I doing? I'm gonna do a gitbook serve should do it. Unless I'm on the wrong branch. Maybe I'm on the wrong branch. Probably on the wrong, no, I'm on the right branch, nice. Squash is really fun to do with face emotes. Yeah, I need to make a face emote. It's something that people have requested. So if I go here, I've already got a good bit of this chapter written. The Easter algorithm Computus, Easter algorithm history, and now I just have this section on the actual algorithm to write. But there is one thing that I kind of want to talk a bit about, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to present it. And this is serve voice is table. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this guy, but essentially this is a table. Oh, where is it? Easter? No. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's try Google. Right. Yeah, 1813 perpetual calendar. So there's this image, view image, scroll up. So this is a table of all of the Easter dates, right? It's a date. So basically you have 1800, 1801, 1802, 1803, 1804, 56. So this is your decade along the x-axis, and then this is your like century along the y-axis, right? And so basically 9 would mean it's got to be April 9th. 7 would mean it's April 7th, so on and so forth. So it basically, you see like a 29, you know that's March 29th. I do have an issue with some numbers, like 22. I don't know if that's April or March. I just don't. I don't understand. One problem with this table is that it was created for specifically Gauss's 1800 algorithm, which is the which means that it will only work up to the year 4200, which isn't great, but yeah, it's okay. What I was thinking about doing is finding a way to visualize this, and I wasn't sure the best way to visualize it. So I need to think about it some more as to how we want to do it. But I kind of want to recreate a table like this. So I might want to animate that tomorrow. That might be a big thing that I'm doing tomorrow and over the weekend. I was hoping to get a video out on Sunday evening. That's what I was shooting for, or maybe Monday morning. Have I seen AAPi? Yeah, it's really, really good. As I mentioned, I think before on Discord, I think I can just pop up Discord. There were a few things about it that I thought needed to be addressed. So like, for example, figures and equations are left justified. That was one thing. And I think you mentioned a lot of these, right? But the big thing was that how do I put this? Citations were sometimes weird, and I didn't know how to fix that. So I needed to look into it and fix that. That was kind of where I'm at with it right now. Obviously, great work put in by you and Nev to get that to work. And I really want to make that the primary thing that we're working on, or we work with from here on, you know? I want that to be what we're using for the algorithm archive, not, Gitbook. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff wrong with Gitbook. Right, so I want to create a table like this, and I want to put it here. And then I want to talk a bit about the actual algorithm. So we can do one of two things today. We can either figure out what the algorithm's actually doing. That is to say, we can figure out what all these numbers are actually doing, why they're there, all this kind of stuff. Or we can start working on the animation. And I think the only animation I want to do is the animation of this table. I don't think it doesn't even have to be a big animation, just a table, you know? Hey, Jonsson, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm currently knee-deep in Git problems, but I've mostly mangled Nev's code into my preferred shape. Dude, fantastic. I didn't realize you were also... I must have missed some of the later updates. GitHub.com. Let's take a look at what's been happening there. I'm just going to look for AAA. I'm an idiot. What am I looking for here? Let's do Algorithm Archive. Yep. Oh, that one will do. And let's go to Algorithm Archivists, then AAAPi here. And let's see. The latest commit... Oh, it must be on a branch, right? Wait, what branch are you on? Maybe it's a fork. And then we go here, Trash Talk. And then it should be AAPi. And then we go... Nice. Okay. So I think this is the same thing. It's not great. Yeah, that's okay. I'm great. I miss going to physical classes, though. How's MIT? MIT is fine. I just spoke about it just briefly a second ago. I like the job. The job's great. It's just a matter of finding the time to do things that I want to do, you know? And so I'm carving out that time every day to make sure that I have time to do what I feel like I need to do and I feel like I should do, you know? I bought a bike and I'm biking now. During the coronavirus outbreak, I feel like that's kind of maybe a bit ill-advised, but hey, you know, you do what you want to do, man. Go to a tournament when the gyms are closed. Yeah, I mean, I guess as long as you're 6 feet away from everyone, it's fine. So I think like I'm supposed to stay inside as much as I can. And yeah, the actual thing is you're not supposed to be near people, which is true. What if we did another awkward algorithm, like a social distancing algorithm? We could warp that into a pathfinding method to basically find the optimal path to minimize your exposure to people. That would be interesting. What would that look like? So basically the problem here is that we have a set of nodes in a graph that are moving, right? So then the question is, how do you optimally path yourself to minimize interaction with people? Gibbous, that sounds great. C252, that sounds sad. Smiley face. I don't know. There has to be a way to do it. Anyway, Easter algorithm first, then we'll talk about other things after that. Just fly to Antarctica. Right, but the problem then is the flight. You know, you've got to like build your own plane. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting next to someone for 10 hours, you know, and they're going to be some, giant guy with coronavirus, and it's just not going to work. Driving through a large, beautiful moor is very nice. What is beautiful moor? What is that? Is that actually a place, or are you just making up a word? that, I still can't tell if that's a place. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Okay. Let's try Google. Beautiful Moor. Okay, that's fine. I still don't know what it is. It's bringing up peacock pictures. Beautiful Moor. Okay, I should probably not click any of these links at this point. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I typoed that. You drive your bike on a peacock. Oh man, peacocks. Look, there is an optimal form of movement. It just so happens it's riding a peacock. You know, that's just what it is. Okay. Right. So I think I kind of want to spend today just talking a bit about this. You know, figuring out the algorithm, you know. That's what I want to do. So if you guys are okay with that, I think that's what we'll do today. And then tomorrow we'll work on the SirVoice table thing. I think I'm just going to color the table and make it, you know, basically a bit easier to follow, because this table, where was the table? Here? This table is kind of ugly. And I mean, I don't know who owns the rights to this particular picture, because I see it all over the place, but I don't know who owns it, you know? So I figure let's just make our own table. It should be relatively straightforward to make. And I want to color it to make it a bit more obvious that these dates are really not connected at all. You know, like maybe have March 22nd be blue and then April 28th or whatever it be red. So you have this kind of, you know, distribution of colors that lets you know that there's basically no correlation between the dates, you know? Let's see, if everyone starts writing peacocks, that'll be the source of the next zoonotic virus. Yeah, probably. So I googled Mario hyperinflation. I got some very exciting search results that were ultimately unhelpful. That's like every search result, you know? It reminds me of the latest Unravel episode about the economics of Mario. Let's see. I live near a very large moor, that's all. Oh, nice. Just make sure nobody eats one. Peacocks don't taste good. Also, they're extremely dumb. I recommend you never get any as pets. Our neighbors had some. They're dumber than chickens. So I don't know how smart chickens are. But if they're smarter than peacocks, maybe they're pretty smart, you know? I don't know. They act like the biggest guys in town. Yeah, that's why you call big people peacock. Like, that's why, like, am I wrong here? Okay, people who are particularly flamboyant are called peacocks, right? Like, this is typically what they're called, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. Okay. So let's get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. I forgot I had this one up. Right. Fascist era was a calendar year used in fascist Italy. Wow. The March on Rome, or more precisely, the extension of Mussolini as prime minister in 29th October 1922, is day one of Anno 1 of the era fascista. That is so interesting. Why would they create a new calendar for that? Like, that just makes all of the bookkeeping annoying. You know, like, stick with the old calendar. I don't know. Okay, fair enough. It's super interesting. Don't know why they're doing it. Super interesting, you know? Pretty much all my code is in that category of super interesting, but no idea why you're doing it. Actually, strike that. It's all in the box of, I don't know why you're doing this. Probably outside of the box of, that's super interesting. Let me get some water. And then I'll take a look at this. So, the problem with the Easter algorithm is that is basically what they say up here, right? When expressing Easter algorithms without using tables, it has been customary to employ only the integer operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, and assignment, as it is compatible with the use of simple mechanical or electronic calculators. That restriction is undesirable for computer programming, where conditional operators and statements, as well as lookup tables, are available. One can easily see how conversion from day of March 22 to 56 to day and month can be easily done if this, right. More importantly, using such conditionals also simplifies the core of the Gregorian calculation. Right, so essentially what they're saying here is that if you could use an actual computer, this would be a lot better. So the question is, since we do have actual computers, and part of the algorithm archive is, you know, implementing the algorithm on actual computers, why are we doing this? And the answer is, why not? It's the same reason we do anything. Just because it's fun, you know? Computational creativity. Oh yeah, I can get rid of that one. And probably, I want to keep Gauss up. He's nice. Look at that face. man, one day I'll look like this, and you guys, yep. Anyway, they made a new calendar for it, so as to insinuate the citizens as much as possible from anything the government didn't create. Because fascism is ultimately a fragile social system, it must be propped up by the force of those who, for some stupid reason, want it around. Gotta take the trash up. Oh, I see. If you're a real pro, you'll spell his name right. What? If you're a real pro, you spell his name right. What do you mean, Gauss? Oh, you mean with the weird beta thing? I actually don't know what it's called. Thanks, Gibbous. I appreciate that. It's written with a... Yeah, I don't know how... Fried rice Gaub. Is that what it's called? A sharp S? What is that actually called? What's the character called in English? Right. German orthography, the grapheme is called Eschet. Eschet? Or sharp SS? Oh, sharp S. Okay, fair. In German it's called Eschet, literally SC. Oh, is it actually pronounced that way? SC? Like, is that... So my last name is supposed to have this character. It's supposed to be SCHLOB. So, Schloss. Is this supposed to have a Z? I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I've never pronounced my name right. With the old was written as... Oh, interesting. Cool. Learning something new every day. Okay, so let's take a look at what this algorithm does. So, I do really want to make this a chapter, just because I think it's really cool. Look, admittedly, right, it's... admittedly, it's a bit dumb, but it's okay. That's me. I love doing dumb things. Okay, so we're just going to read this section together, you and me. You know, we're going to see what we learn, you know? On all accounts, Fascist Calendar wasn't very good or novel. It also didn't make the trains run on time, as I'm sure they promised, you know? Okay, so I'm going to read through this section, and it should give us a pretty good intuition as to what's happening. That's what I'm hoping for. And I've got a bit of a few other sources I kind of want to read through. But the other sources gave me like a good background history as to what's happening, but it didn't explain to me why. Like what was actually happening in the algorithm and why it was happening. This is what I didn't know. So I kind of wanted to go through and figure that out. So that's kind of where I'm at. These days it would be written as SS. Right, yeah, Schloss did. In fact, it used to be written Schlob before syntax reform. Let's see. On all accounts, Fascist Calendar wasn't very good. Right. Okay, so let's go through this. In 1800, the mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss presented this algorithm for calculating the date of the Julian or Gregorian Easter. He corrected the expression for calculating the variable p in 1816. In 1800, he incorrectly stated p equals floor of k over 3 equals floor of k over 3. In 1807, he replaced the condition 11m plus 11 mod 30 less than 19 with a simpler a greater than 10. In 1811, he limited his algorithm to the 18th and 19th centuries only and stated that the 26th of April always replaced with the 19th of April and 25th of April by the 18th of April. What? In 1816, he thanked his student Peter Paul Tittle for pointing out that P was wrong in the original version. What? Okay, so here's basically what happened. Gauss was like, here's an algorithm for calculating the dates of Easter, right, in 1800, right? Immediately after that, some guy was like, hey, this doesn't work. And so he was like, okay, look, we're just gonna... Okay, if we replace this conditional, it's probably easier for people to calculate with a greater than 10. And then people were like, that doesn't work. So he's like, okay, fine. So just do it for the 18th and 19th century and we're fine. And then he also stated that 26th of April is already... It's like, this is just bad source code. I don't know, man. Let's see. These days it would be written as SS. I'm back. The numbers may seem what they mean. This is my question. That's exactly my question. So let's figure it out. Okay. So essentially though, up to this point, it's just some guy basically writing like really, really weird, bad source code, you know? Oh, dude, Adam, thank you so much for the raid. How have you been, by the way? I hope you're having a wonderful day. This is actually my first day back in a super long time. So, hey, how are you doing? Adam13531. If you guys haven't seen Adam stream before, I don't know where you were last year because I rated Adam like almost every day at the end of my stream when I was back in Japan. He's a wonderful streamer, a fantastic person. Definitely check him out. He is, is working on this thing called Botland. I just check it out. It's such a wonderful thing to do. Simulus, hey guys, have you been told you look a tiny bit like Soda Poppin' now? No, I haven't, but I know I need a haircut, and I'm so sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. If you guys haven't been to this stream before, we're working on this project known as the Algorithm Archive. It's weird. It's silly. The idea is that we're just gonna get as many algorithms as we can in the same place. I'm sorry about hitting the microphone. And we're gonna teach them. Like, it's gonna be like numerical recipes, right? But also kind of like Rosetta code. So for example, go to Euclidean algorithm here. Well, let's do Monte Carlo, right? So you go to Monte Carlo and we have all the source code in here. And the gimmick here is that we have every language here. And we also give you a good introduction. So it's like, it's either a better version of Rosetta code or a better version of numerical recipes. It's one or the other. I particularly focus on learning algorithms, doing cool things just with the community, this type of stuff. I've got a YouTube channel as well. You can feel free to check it out somewhere in the description. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Thank you so much, Adam, for the raid. And yeah, we have a better name. That's the most, what's a better name? Okay, cool, subscribe. Thank you so much. What do we have here? So looks like, oh, I missed a lot of stuff here. Let me go ahead and catch up on notifications. So P13N, A friends, thank you so much for following. Let's see, Equation Child, thank you so much for cheering 100 bits. Really appreciate it. Coffee Man, Zen Gardens, Double R112, Semptiness, let's see, The Eraser, That Eraser, Fancy Yellow, Zooks, ___, Gen472, Sebot00. Thank you guys so much for following. And anyone I may have missed, like, I think I caught everyone. If I missed you, just say so in chat. I'll try to catch you up. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. And I hope you guys are staying in, staying away from the whole COVID panic, 2020. I know it's kind of a rough ride for a lot of people, which is kind of the reason I'm streaming again. I just want to have people find a place that they can chat about algorithms, computational stuff, enjoy their time. And yeah, so I'll be streaming for the next hour, maybe 2 hours, something like this. And today we're actually focusing on one of the oldest algorithms ever. Like we're talking about a 19th century drama today, like literally an algorithm that pushed the boundary of human knowledge from 300 AD to 1800 AD and had some of the most brilliant mathematicians ever just coming forward and trying to create algorithms to calculate this one thing. And that one thing is surprisingly the date of Easter every year. And I'll give you guys a bit of a background. We've been going through the background a bit. It's actually super interesting, and I'm hoping you guys find it interesting as well. Let me see. Wait, Adam sold Botland? I must not. I misread that. I hope your day is delightful. Have to get going. See, Adam, thank you so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, anyone else here? I hope you enjoy your time. Thanks so much. Let's see. Botland is actually dead now. What happened? Oh no. Oh no. What? So what have you been doing? Oh no, and he's leaving now. I can't ask. So people who came from Adam's stream, what was he working on? Because I haven't been able to check in the past month or two. I just know like a month or two ago he was working on Botland. And then I deleted the algorithm archive. Botland. What's going on? Infosec XSS challenges. He's a multimillionaire now. He's working on Adam Learns. Ah, dude. I've missed so... If I can spell things correctly. I've missed so much. Right, okay, that explains the logo change and all this kind of stuff, right? But Adam Learns has to be a website, right? I must just not pick it up in DuckDuckGo. Ah, here it is. Adam Learns Live. Yep, that's what I was expecting. Nice, okay. Cool. Yeah. Dude, I'm so happy. That's so cool. He's such a good guy. I'm happy for this. Multimillionaire now. He's doing Adam Learns. He learns something new each week and posts recaps on YouTube. Super cool. He does a learning show where he learns new things each stream. He's just chatting on where to take this new show called Adam Learns. He is now branded as Adam Learns. Yeah, okay, good. Everyone's caught me up. Google Port Swigger XSS Challenge. I'll take a look. What do we have? Challenger. Ooh, well, log in. Let's see. Oh, is this pen testing? Nice. Cool. Okay. I mean, if it's pen testing, that's really cool. You're so wholesome. I don't know what to do. It's so great. Well, I'm happy you're here. Thanks so much. let's see, his numbers grew like 100%. Adam learns on Twitch. I am hoping. No, he's not. I was actually kind of. I bought it. I totally bought it. I thought he. He did. Okay, I think I missed quite a few of these follows. Let me go ahead and catch up. So I think the last one I said was. Let's see. We had the Eraser, Zooks __. Let's see. I think the last one I said was Cbot00, DNLFDZ, Strix, SSEU Megi, let's see, Guru IT, Homida, Ismat, Nuxer, and Primal. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Right, he shut it down. He shut Botland down. Okay, I was really happy. I really like Botland, but that's okay. You know, like, truth is, Adam's a wonderful person, and almost everyone on Twitch is a wonderful person. So it's good. It's good. I'm glad. If he's happy, I'm happy, type of thing, you know? How'd your thesis go? Right, so for those of you who don't know, I just finished my PhD in computational physics. It was in massively parallel split-step Fourier techniques for simulating quantum systems on graphics processing units. So I do quantum simulations on GPU devices. That's kind of what I focused on. Thesis went very well. Thank you so much for asking. The Klima Lab is also going very well. I also talked about that a bit earlier in stream. This is kind of what I'm doing now, climate modeling, this type of stuff. But yeah, it's going very well. I'm pretty happy with it. User retention was too short in Botland. I could imagine that being the case. That's how it is with a lot of the educational, just educational world, you know? Okay, let me see. I think I missed some other stuff. I need to figure out how to like tell which ones I've seen, which ones I haven't. But New York, thank you so much for another subscription. Really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and put that Sinew Cow in the chat. Let's see. I need how many of these? 5, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, now they're all spaced together. Oh my gosh, 1 second. Oh, crap. I'm very bad at this. 1 second. Just don't look at my screen right now. There we go. Thank you so much for all the subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Tebris Dungus TV, thank you guys so much for following. And I think I'm caught up. If I missed anyone, just say so in chat. I'm going to do my best to catch up. But I really do appreciate all you guys being here, and I hope you guys have a good time. So let's keep talking about the Easter algorithm that we were talking about before. I'm going to do a bit of a reintroduction, guys. I hope those who were here before aren't so mad at a bit of reintroduction. Essentially, let's talk about what Easter is. So, okay. You guys know what Easter is. I don't have to go into it. I'm not going to go into the religious side of things here. All I'm going to say is that Easter is held on one particular date every year. And that date is the Sunday after the Paschal full moon. Okay? Which means Easter can range from any day between March 23rd, actually 22nd, I got that wrong, to April 28th, something like this. There's a huge month and a few days where Easter can be held on, right? And the question is, what day in that span is Easter actually going to be held on? Thanks for that. What is it? Pesach? Is that what it is? Why did I think it was Paschal? What was I doing? Let me go over here and let me see. Easter. Computus. What did you say it was? Pesach. I can't pronounce it. No, it's totally Paschal. Oh, come on. Come on, I wasn't that far off. Paschal full moon. This is what I was talking about. Normally, the Paschal full moon refers to the ecclesiastical full moon of the northern spring used in the determination of the date of Easter. Come on. Come on. I was pretty close. Okay. What did I say? Paschal? I think I had it right, even. It's Aramaic. No, so this should be Greek, I think. I think Paschal is Greek. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, you got March 21st. March 21st is the equinox, the ecclesiastical equinox, right? The full moon after that date will be the Paschal full moon. And then the Sunday after that is going to be Easter, right? So around 300 AD, the Pope and all of his, popey friends decided they wanted to create an algorithm to calculate the date of Easter. And they did so. It kind of worked, and it was okay. But, it wasn't perfect, right? So then you have a whole bunch of incredibly smart people creating a huge number of algorithms to calculate the date of Easter. And we talked a bit about it. We have this table that we can generate of all the Easter dates. Lots of cool stuff you can do. And here's like the distribution of all the Easter dates for a 5,700,000 year cycle. It's kind of normal with a tapering off at the end and the start. Oh, okay, let's go back over here. But the cool part is that, or the part I thought was really cool, is that it wasn't until like 1800 when Gauss came around. Oh, that's anonymous Gregorian algorithm. Let's go up a bit. When Gauss came around, that they actually were able to calculate Easter somewhat systematically, right? So Gauss came up with this Easter algorithm. And the thing that we just read, just before you guys came in, the thing we were just talking about was the fact that Gauss actually, Gauss, everyone knows Gauss, right? One of the smartest mathematicians ever, I would say. Like this guy came up with, Gaussian elimination, which everyone learns in high school. He came up with Gauss's law, which is one of the most fundamental laws for electromagnetism. He came up with the fast Fourier transform before anyone even thought about Fourier transforms. This guy is incredibly intelligent. And when it came to calculating the date of Easter, he got it wrong like 5 times and only got it right because his student corrected him. It's incredible. Like, it's somehow this one thing like fundamentally just changed the landscape of human knowledge, and that thing was calculating the date of Easter. Yeah, Gaussian blur. Right, yeah, Gaussians. Like, he's got a distribution named after him. It's crazy. The guy's crazy. And yet, somehow this tripped him up. The legend goes, and I know I just said this legend a second ago, please bear with me. The legend goes that Gauss actually didn't know his real birthday, right? He only knew that it was 7 days before Ascension Day on like a Wednesday or something like that. And Ascension Day again was on the lunar calendar. So he calculated first the date of Easter with this algorithm, and then he used the same algorithm to calculate his birthday afterwards. It's just, I don't know, there's so much like cool, interesting things that are happening like just around this algorithm. I kind of wanted to talk about it. It's not like super deep. It's not super hard to understand. It's just a bunch of math, but somehow it's intriguing. It's cool, and it's been a while since I've just done something because it's cool, I can't think of a better audience to ask this question to. Have you guys watched 3 Blue 1 Brown TED Talk? Is it good? I have not personally, but I can tell you anything Grant makes is amazing. Definitely watch it. Just his channel is great. He's a great person, a genuinely great person. Every time I've hung out and talked to him, he's been amazing. And I would definitely recommend just watching anything he makes. He's just such a good guy. Thanks, Botuleos. I guess now that Botuleos is back up, let's go ahead and put down the YouTube link here. Right. Oh no, does that not work? Botuleos, come on. Come on. There you are. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll change it. No, I just didn't know what it was. I don't watch many of his videos, but I really like his interview with Lex Friedman. Honestly, man, this guy, Grant is such an amazing person. Like, just for the record, I want to be like him when I grow up, and I think he's my age, so I'm already behind. Actually, how old is Grant Sanderson? I'm sure I can find this. He must be on Wikipedia. Okay, now I'm sidetracked. I'm sorry, guys. 3 Blue and Brown. Grant Sanderson does not have a birthday. I guess. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have a birthday. That's surprising. Most people have birthdays, but not Grant. He's too good for that. I watch many. There's usually a ton of production behind the YouTube videos. Dude, the thing is, I don't think people understand. So, as someone who makes YouTube videos, I mean, maybe you guys don't know my YouTube channel. Let's just go to YouTube channel. So, I make videos sometimes similar to Grant's style, right? Like, here's one of the videos I've made recently. It's just about Gaussian elimination. And I make these animations, a lot like Grant's animations, Like, they're, sometimes 3D, sometimes 2D. They're animations that are meant to show and explain a particular mathematical phenomenon, right? So here we have these planes moving around. And I can tell you, these take a lot of time. They take a lot of effort. And the fact that Grant can make them so fast and effectively, and he can edit them and do everything that he needs to do, and he has such an eloquent way of presenting and describing his topics, it's incredible. He's such an amazing guy. Let's see. There's usually a ton of production behind the YouTube videos. If you have a soul, you want to know why pi shows up here. You need to calculate his age based on the Easter algorithm. I don't know if I could. I don't think the Easter algorithm calculates anyone's age arbitrarily. I think it only calculates people who know their age based on another calendar. His YouTube videos aren't as impressive as his GitHub repo. I might believe you there. I think I actually believe you there. Speaking of Matthew, YouTubers, I actually don't know who Eddie Wu is. Who is this guy? 845k subscribed. Ooh, I don't know this guy. I mean, I know Flammable Maths. This kind of looks like Flammable Maths in a way. I'm not sure. Does color actually freak you out? Yeah, I don't use syntax highlighting. I know that's really weird and it turns a lot of people off of this channel, but I don't use syntax highlighting because it's kind of weird for me and I just can't deal with it. So the repo, in case you guys haven't seen before, is Manim. And again, if I missed anything in chat, just say it again. I'm trying to keep up, but sometimes it's hard. So yeah, you can just go to everything has changed. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. This is now up to, people can actually use this now. About a year ago, it was impossible to use this, but now it's totally possible. You can live stream it. The heck? What on earth? This has gotten crazy. And they have documentation as well? Should I just use Manum from now on? Is that what I'm learning? I'm going to have Gathriel. I like Gathriel. It's nice. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. There's some channel on YouTube that's been exploding that uses Manum. Yeah, 3 blue, 1 brown. I found out more about the arcane algorithm more. Eddie Wu does like high school math. Oh, cool. He's a math teacher and he films his session. He's really good at his job. Dude, great. Does color actually freak you out? Okay. But yeah, so here's Manum. It's just great. I mean, I just every time I think about what I want to do when I finish, my time here at MIT, I just keep coming back to working on the algorithm archive, making videos, and just doing this live stream and this type of stuff. It's so cool, and I'm so close to being able to do it full time. I feel like, why not? Just do it, I missed a lot of stuff. Let me go ahead and catch up. Let's see. So Shequin, let's see. The Random Elephant, Wooden Potato Wedge, Xanis, Jay Silvis, and Robbie Freshest, and also Misty Rain and the Funky Monkey. Thank you guys so much for following. Really appreciate it. For the Wooden Potato Wedge, do you watch Wooden Potatoes? Like, I don't know if you're even in chat anymore, but if you do, he's one of the few gaming streamers and I guess YouTubers that I watch. I genuinely like his content. So I thought maybe, that would be a way to connect with someone in the audience. I don't know. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. Yeah, I don't play Guild Wars anymore, or Guild Wars 2, but he's a great content creator. And here I am just shouting everyone out, even though they don't even know who I am. Right, Adam Learns, gonna delete some of these tabs that we don't need anymore. Trash Talk, Pi, I'm sorry, Trash Talk. It's really good, but I really need to get somewhere today. So Computus, okay. So now we're at the part of today's stream. So today we're not working on animations so much. Today we're just gonna focus on learning what all of these numbers mean and why they mean that, right? I know kind of what the first line means, but I don't know what any of the other lines mean. So this is kind of where I'm at. I need to learn a lot more. So what we're gonna do, and I know this might sound really boring to some of you guys, and if it does, don't worry about it. I mean, feel free to, peace out, find someone else you want to watch. But I'm happy you're here anyway. Today we're gonna just go through the Wikipedia article, and learn a bit more about Gauss's Easter algorithm. That's where we're at. As far as the answer to do I use Arch? Do I use Arch? Come on, man. I definitely use Arch. Yeah. I actually did an Arch Linux speedrun. I think Buttercake, who's in our community, got the installation of Arch down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. Because of course we did. It was just something dumb we did about a year back. It's great. I'm sorry. I'm just being a jerk. I didn't mean to be a jerk. I'm so sorry. I just want to say, I love Arch Linux. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's a better distribution than any other distribution. If you love Ubuntu, you love Fedora, you love Debian, whatever, use what you love. If you're a Mac or Windows user, fine too. Use what you love, man. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's what I believe. But yeah, for those who may have been here about a year ago when we actually did the Arch speedrun, it was pretty fun. Interesting me, but then I read the dictionary for fun. What is the dictionary for fun? Fun. What is fun? Fun is defined as what provides amusement or enjoyment. A mood for finding or making amusement. There you go. This is fun. It's fun to me. I don't know if it's fun for anyone else here, but it's fun to me. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm going to reread this section, and we're going to kind of work through it. So in 1800, the mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss presented this algorithm for calculating the date of the Julian or Gregorian Easter. For those of you who missed it, Julian or Gregorian calendars are two different calendars used to calculate different dates. Julian calendar is off by about a day. Gregorian calendar is the calendar we're currently using. He corrected the expression for calculating the variable p in 1816, and in 1800 he incorrectly stated p equals floor of k over 3. In 1807 he replaced the condition 11m plus 11 mod 30 less than 19 with a simpler a is greater than 10. In 1811 he limited his algorithm to the 18th and 19th centuries only and stated that 26th of April is always replaced with 19th of April and 25th of April by 18th of April. That one gets me. In 1816 he thanked his student Peter Paul Tittle for pointing out that P was wrong in the original version. Right. So basically, again, what I was saying. Gauss made an algorithm. The algorithm didn't work. So then he corrected it, and that didn't work. So then he said, look, it'll work if and only if you're working within the 18th or 19th century. Don't try to break this, Peter. Just do what you want to do between 18th and 19th century and don't worry about anything else. And then Peter was like, nah, dog, I got this. And he corrected it to make the whole thing work out. Basically, like, I could just see Gauss like getting like weird bug reports from people all over the world being like, hey, it doesn't work for the year 4200 or something like that. And then he just correcting it, and just getting really angry and saying, like, I just use it for this era. I don't know. It humanizes Gauss in a way. Like, whenever you think of these like mathematicians that are like, gods of the mathematics world, like, you don't see them as people, but this made me see Gauss as a person, and I thought it was really cool. I don't know. Check out this GitHub repo. Oh yeah, thanks. I have an algorithm that will work for calculating the date of Easter. I personally disagree with this, but I get the sentiment. I have an algorithm that will work for calculating the date of Easter, but it only works for 1 year. When I calculate this year's Gaussian Easter, one sec. Right, so I'm just going to go through this. What I want to do today is I want to understand where all of these numbers come from. Let me catch up on notifications. Beth Sir, thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support so far with the channel. I really appreciate it. And let's knock this out. Okay. So, an analysis of Gauss's Easter algorithm is divided into two parts. The first part is the approximate tracking of the lunar orbiting, and the second part is the exact deterministic offsetting to obtain a Sunday following the full moon. Okay, seems fair enough. Right, so the first part consists of determining the variable d, the number of days counting from March 21st for the closest following full moon to occur. So that is down to this whole section is just calculating d. All right, let's go. The formula for d contains terms 19a, and the constant m. 19a, okay, and the constant m, which is 23. Now, why is it 23? A is a year's position in the 19-year lunar phase cycle, in which, by assumption, the moon's movement related to the Earth repeats every 19 calendar years. Fair enough. In older times, 19 calendar years were equated to 235 lunar months, the metonic cycle, which is remarkably close to the... Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm failing at this, guys. Which is remarkably close since 235 lunar months are approximately 6,939.6813 days, and 19 years are on average 6,939.607 days. That's actually remarkably close. The expression 19a plus m mod 30 repeats every 19 years within each century, as m is determined per century. The 19-year cycle has nothing to do with the 19 in 19a. It's just a coincidence that another 19 appears. The 19 in 19a comes from correcting the mismatch between a calendar year and an integer number of lunar months. A calendar year, non-leap year, has 365 days, and the closest you can come with an integer number of lunar months is 12 times 29.5 equals 354 days. The number difference is 11, which must be corrected for by moving the following year's occurrence of a full moon 11 days back. But in modulo 30 arithmetic, subtracting 11 is the same as adding 19. Okay, hence the addition of 19 for each year added to 19a. Where did we get? Where did we stop? Did we get all the way here? 19a plus m. Is this paragraph just describing these lines? Oh boy. Okay. I think maybe Gibbous had the right idea here. April 12th. Is that actually, that is today's, that's today. That's this year, right? Let me just scroll up a bit. So you just crunched the numbers and you got April 12th, which is, it's this year. Yep, it's this year. For the Western Easter, it is definitely April 12th. I'm not sure how close numbers specifically chosen to be close to each other need to be remarkably close. I guess you're right. But I mean, like, I don't think they were specifically chosen to be close to each other, right? So you're talking about this guy here. The formula for D contains term 19a. Wow, this is so hard to parse. In older times, 19 calendar years were equated to 235 lunar months, which is remarkably close since 235 lunar months are approximately this number of days, and 19 years are on average that number of days. I don't think they were trying to sync 19 calendar years with 235 lunar months. I think that just happened, right? Today's not April 12th. No, it's not Easter. Today is definitely not Easter. The idea was that you could calculate Easter for 2020, and he came up with April 12th, right? So, I mean, we can create a website, you know, kind of like istodayfridaythe13th.com, istodayeaster.com. It's just like, no, unless it's April 12th or something like that. I'm gonna whip up a Python script. Give us. You're way ahead of me. You're way ahead of me. I'm just trying to understand it. You know, like, give me a second. I mean, I can whip up a Julia script as well. I mean, we could code war this, but let's just get through it. Okay, so the M in 19a plus m serves as a correct starting point at the start of each century. It's determined by a calculation taking the number of leap years up until that century, where k inhibits a leap year every 100 years and q reinstalls it every 400 years, yielding k minus q as the total number of inhibitions to the pattern of a leap day every 4 years. Thus, we add k minus q to correct for leap days that never occurred. P corrects for the number of lunar orbits not being fully describable in integer terms. Okay, so when I'm writing this in the algorithm archive, what I'm probably going to want to do is I'm probably going to split up the terms 19a and m to make it a bit easier to understand. And I think the sticky point is going to be the calculation of this p. I think that's where people are going to get lost. By the way, if you guys are following this stream, and you guys at any point have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to talk about life, liberty, the pursuit of open source software, whatever it is, just feel free to let me know. I'll totally just pause, chat. Some of the stream is trying to figure out Gauss's Easter algorithm. I mean, that's the meat and potatoes, I guess, as a vegetarian. But if you have other things to talk about, yeah, feel free to talk about it. I don't mind getting distracted. I'm happy to be back, you know. We're working on different tasks. You're not trying to understand it. That's your secret. Okay. So I'm starting here. The range of days considered for the full moon to determine Easter are 21 March, the day of the ecclesiastical equinox of spring, to 19th of April. A 30-day range mirrored in the mod 30 arithmetic of the variable d and the constant m, both of which can have integer values in the range 0 to 29. Once d is determined, this is the number of days to add to 21 of March, the earliest possible full moon allowed, which is coincident with the ecclesiastical equinox of spring, to obtain the day of the full moon. So the first allowable date of Easter is 21 plus d plus 1. As Easter is to celebrate the Sunday after the ecclesiastical full moon, that is, the full moon falls on Sunday 21st March. Easter is to be celebrated 7 days after. Well, the full moon falls on Saturday 21st March. Easter is following 22nd of March. Okay, right. So 21d plus 1. What does that mean? Oh, 21. So if d is equal to 0, then it's going to be 20. Okay, I got it. So d is the offset from 21. Right. So you start on 21 of March, which is going to be is just going to be 21 in this notation. Then you're going to plus 1 because the earliest possible Easter is going to be on the 22nd of March. And then you're going to offset it by d. So it's remarkable that in 1800, Gauss was already struggling with off by 1 errors. Like, this is 1800. Like, literally way before computers. And yet still, this is one of the like fundamental struggles of computation, you know? Let's see, make sure you make a scrolling website full of spinning numbers and colors to present it. Oh boy. Okay, so this then I think adequately describes, and I think we can pretty much work with this to make the algorithm archive chapter. Okay, so the second part is finding E, which is the additional offset days that must be added to the date offset D to make it arrive at a Sunday. Since a week has 7 days, the offset must be in the range 0 to 6 and determined by modulo 7 arithmetic. E is determined by calculating 2b plus 4c plus 6d plus n mod 7. What? These constants may seem strange at first, but are quite easily explainable if we remember that we operate under mod 7 arithmetic. To begin with, 2b plus 4c ensures that we take care of the fact that weekdays slide for each year. A normal year has 365 days, but 52 times 7 is equal to 364, sorry. So 52 full weeks make up one day too little. Hence, each consecutive year, weekday slides by one day forward, meaning that May 6th was a Wednesday one year, and is a Thursday the following year, with the exception of leap years. Both B and C increases by 1 for an advancement of 1 year, disregarding modulo effects. That's actually really cool. I never really thought about that, but is the leap year... So does that mean... Let me just open up a calendar here. So does that mean... Let's just do Cal 2019, okay? And, you know, we're on... Yeah, okay, so we're just going to look at these last few things. Now let's do Cal 2020 and Cal 2021. No, okay, that's different than what I thought. I thought it was insinuating that the calendar is the same. I thought it was insinuating that the calendar is the same, like from a leap year to a non-leap year. So I thought it was saying that, like, if you have a leap year, all the days stay the same because you're like exactly on the right modulo operator for everything to work out. But otherwise, you're shifted by a day. But clearly, I was wrong. I'm just an idiot. None of what I'm seeing or hearing is able to be processed by my tiny brain, but watching someone as clearly intelligent as you trying to figure it out is utterly fascinating. Dude, the monkey, thank you so much for saying that. The truth is, when it comes to intelligence, and I say this a lot on this stream, I don't think that anyone who is able to watch this stream, I don't think anyone who is here is dumb. In fact, I think that everyone here is probably more intelligent or just as intelligent as I am. If you see me or anyone on stream doing something crazy and insane and something that you think, I'm never going to be smart enough to do it, I'm going to be honest, you are probably smart enough to do it. It's just a matter of taking the time to learn and enjoy the learning process. So I don't know. I'm hoping maybe watching this stream, hanging out with this community, maybe motivates you to learn a bit, you know? Proof by counterexample, I am dumb. C52. C252. Clearly you're smarter than me. I can't even pronounce your moniker, but you are definitely not dumb. Like, there are many people that I brag about in this community to my friends, and you are one of them. I mean, I'm not going to say all the other people, because there's a huge number of people that I brag about to my friends, but like, there's a large number of people in this community that I'm like, man, I wish I was that smart. Like, even adding an at your age there, it's just crazy, you know? None of what I'm seeing. My guess is that the 19 was indeed chosen because of that 250-month thing. That sounds exactly like the sort of trick you would use for constructing a calendar algorithm. Right, I think so. Let's see. Thanks, New York. Completely forgot to add that. Wouldn't it be the same for the year before leap year and the year instead of the year instead? Yeah, let's see. Maybe I'm dumb. So let's just do huge here. Move this up here. Let's do Cal 2019. Okay, and now we're gonna do Cal 2020. No, they're clearly different. And then 2020 is clearly different than 2021. So there's 2020, there's 2021. Yeah, they're still clearly different. Let's see. I'm dumb. Wouldn't it be the same for the year? Keep in mind that the calendar construction was basically the main focus of all astronomy up until 1850 or something due to fundamental importance of astronomy. Right. I agree. Totally agree that this is somehow related to very, very important things. No doubt. But it's still utterly fascinating to me that the fact that calculating Easter, I mean, it's so fascinating because Easter, like, okay, so my girlfriend's Japanese. She just the other day, I was talking to her and she asked me when Easter was. And I was like, I have no idea. And I had to Google it. And she's like, how do you not know what Easter is? You know, it's like one of the fundamental holidays of the Christian religion. And I was like, yeah, but it's complicated. And the fact that I had to say it was complicated, and the fact that we don't really have any good ways to calculate Easter, we didn't until like 1800, it just blows my mind. You know, it's so interesting. I don't know how else to put it. It's just cool. For every moment of genius, there are 10 git errors. That's probably true. Get more like gone. But how many seg faults? Hopefully, if you're doing git correctly, not too many seg faults. That's what CI is for. The script I wrote works, and I have gained not much knowledge. Okay, good, Gibbous. You're there. You're at my stage. High altitude gear because I never merged memory. Oh boy. It's really just a number theory problem. Truism. No, wait, I wasn't thinking. 52 times 7 is 364. A year is 365, and a leap year is 666. They'll never match. Man, what was I thinking of then? I must have been thinking about specifically the month of February. Let's see, where's February? February 28. Okay. I think the month of February is the same, so let's see. Month of February, Monday to Sunday. No. I'm just an idiot. It's never the same. I just, for some reason, thought it would be the same, and I just... No, maybe what I was thinking is the month of February... no, I was thinking February and March are the same. Right. So Friday is on the 1st, Saturday is on the 2nd, Sunday is on the 3rd, Monday is on the... That's what I was thinking. I don't know why I was thinking this had anything to do with an annual cycle. It was just that February is 28 days, which means it's exactly 4 weeks. Therefore... Okay. Right. Okay. I don't know if I missed anyone in chat, anyone following. I think I did catch up with everyone, but if I missed anyone, it might have been Romali. I do appreciate the follow. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. So cool. So we're back to trying to understand the next thing. So the expression 2b plus 4c thus increases by 6. But remember that this is the same as subtracting 1 mod 7. To subtract by 1 is exactly what is required for a normal year, since a weekday slips by 1 day forward. We should compensate 1 day less to arrive at the correct weekday. For a leap year, B7 becomes 0, and 2b thus becomes 0 instead of 8, which under mod 7 is another subtraction by 1, i.e. total subtraction by 2, as the weekdays after leap day that calculates that year slides forward by 2 days. I feel like I need to make this easier for people. Because this is just, if it's not making sense to me, like, and I'm the one that's trying to teach this thing, like, clearly it's not going to make sense for other people. So let's just draw a circle. And inside of that circle, we draw another circle. Okay, let's try doing that one again. We draw another circle. Maybe something like this. And let's just put a modulo 7 on this guy, right? So that means it's going to be, actually, we can just do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So if we have a modulo 7 here, oh, JSPP, hey, how have you been, man? 20 months. Let's put this in here. Simul cow. Let's go ahead and put this in here. How are you dealing with the coronavirus, man? I'm broken. There we go. 20 of them. Let's go. Let's see. A lot of people in rural areas, especially my family in New Hampshire, don't have a dumpster service. Wait, garbage collection. Hey, JSBP, how are you? Let's see. There are fundamental incompatibilities between a lunar calendar like Hebrews and seasonal equinox based on a calendar like Gregorian. Right, no doubt. It's always going to be complicated. It's all, what I'm trying to do is make this easy, right? The thing is, we've got a lot of modulo operations, and I feel like modulo operations can be understood as like this dial, right? Like usually when you think of modulo operations, like if you're counting up, let's say you're counting up to 10, right? So counting up to 10 on modulo 7 should be 3, because you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So now you're back at 3, right? So I think if we could create a dial here where we have like an internal clock, right? And then we have an external like kind of loop thing. I don't know the best way to draw this, but I could imagine maybe drawing something like 10 steps forward. You know what I'm saying? Something like this. Let's see. First time you pick 1, next time you pick 7, next time 6, then 5, etc. I don't know what you're counting by, Hayes Anderson. I'm so sorry. Could you maybe explain a bit more so I could keep up? For some reason, circles never helped me when I learned modulo arithmetic. I kind of agree with you. They didn't help me too much either. But maybe we can think of something that does help. So for me, what helped me was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When I learned modulo arithmetic, let's say I have to do 10. The easiest way for me to think about this was literally via like Euclidean algorithm, just 10 minus 7. Let's say we're counting up to 23 or something like this. So it's 23 minus 7 minus 7 minus 7, and then the remainder is 2. Right? So it's just like, it's just division is what this is, you know? So I don't know. I mean, the dial thing is really useful because okay, it depends on whether you count at 0 or you count at 1. I've been dealing with Julia too much, so technically you're right. It should be 0 to 7. 0 to 7 would be mod 8. But I've been doing 1 to 7, which is still mod 7. That's it. You're right. I mean, I'm just not doing it the right math. Wait. Oh, right. Okay, fine. You're right. This isn't mod then. This is not modular arithmetic. You're correct. It should be 0 to 6. I was wrong. Let me just erase all my mistakes and put it up. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And for this one, we're just going to use a bit shift operator, and we'll just do 0, 1, and then we'll just shift it over 1. There we go. Perfect. Right. I'm sorry. Let's see. Right. I'm sorry. That was just me being an idiot. I should be better at that, but you know, yeah, after I got my PhD, all my intelligence just went into one sheet of paper, and now I don't have any anymore. I thought you were about to describe polyrhythms. My mistake. Oh yeah, no, this wasn't what I was going to do. Today, our chancellor spoke to our nation for the first time as some New Year's talks. So, well, hoping we get through this as good as possible. Look, I mean, it's a rough time for everyone. One of the reasons I really want to start streaming again is because I know there's a lot of people who are going to be stuck in their house. And I really do feel like we need to just hang out, chat, talk about things that we want to talk about, you know, enjoy our time together, even if we have to be, you know, closed off in the middle of a room somewhere, you know, super far away from everyone else, at least 6 feet. Maybe at least for 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day or something, we can still talk about Gauss's Easter algorithm or something kind of fun, you know? If you treat it as sequence, it works. Right. Maybe you think equivalence classes helps. I ran into an issue a few weeks back where 1 to 7 would have been far more ideal for me. Left-handed. I'm not left-handed, but I actually do write like this with my right hand. Like I write like a lefty on my right hand, if that makes sense. Welcome back, Chat Attacks. Hey, Talisman Solutions, how are you? Also, Dollar Batteries and Dabbledore, thank you guys so much for following. Really appreciate it. Right, so, okay, let's think. What would you guys think? Okay, how about this? How about we sit down and we think about the best way to describe modulo arithmetic? Because honestly, this algorithm has taught me that if I'm going to describe this to anyone, I really need people to understand how modulo works, you know? And I feel like, I really do feel like this is going to be complicated for a lot of people, you know? I thought that's what I was saying. Your starting points are different. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was just being dumb. Let me get through this section, which is just another 3 paragraphs. And we're going to talk about the best way to describe this. I want to figure out the ideal way to present this to an audience in a visually appealing way. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find a way to give people an intuition as to what this means. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is take a step back and write it out, so I understand what I'm going for. And then, you know, so after reading this, I should be able to write something, and then I should be able to have a good idea of what I'm trying to visualize tomorrow. That's what I'm going to try to go for. Let's see. I thought this was what you're seeing starting points. Just because we were harsh language, I was wondering if you planned on implementing the algorithms in BrainF. It's one of my favorite programming languages. One of the ones I use most, obviously. Actually, we do have that. Algorithm Archive. I think we have 3 algorithms in that language. I do try not to say it on stream because, you know, harsh language. But let's see, what do we have here? If we go to, I think it's Bubble Sort, we have it. So you go to, where is it? Brain. There it is. Here we have Brainfuck right there. Ah, shoot, I said it. I'm so sorry. We have it here. And then I think we might also have BOGO Sort. I'd be surprised if we do. No, we don't. But probably the Euclidean algorithm, I'd imagine. Have to have Euclidean algorithm, right? Here it is. This is the easiest one. And then we do this in... Wait, we don't have Euclidean algorithm? What else do we have? Okay, we have it in a few algorithms. I don't know. Oh, 2 are in review. Hey, actually, Strix, if you can review Brainfuck, if you can review that language, would you mind going to GitHub.com and looking under the algorithm archive and looking at under the pull requests? We have a lot of pull requests open, and then just go to the language you're looking for. If you could, maybe just take a look at these implementations and see what you think. Oh, Trash Shark already looked at these. I see. We're waiting on Ariana to do that. Never mind. So Ariana, we're just waiting on her to finish that one. And was this some Daniel Mowitz? We're looking on. Oh, okay. Right. So the Travis error. I am sorry. It took. Okay, cool. So if we could just get someone to review these, that'd be great. Easter is March. What? Okay, let's see. Well, mod 50 is, let's see, what do we have here? So in order to do randomness, you'd have to implement a random number generator in BF. You're right. I understand that's non-trivial. I was thinking about doing a random number generator, particularly, there are a few random number generators we could do. I want to do that. This goes back to something I was talking about at the start of today's episode. There's a lot of these quick algorithms we can get done really, like, we can get done quickly, right? I know I was being redundant there. And I feel like I want to just start getting these done, knocking them out and seeing what we need to do. Right. I'm so sorry about swearing. Let's see. You actually have it. I was just messing around. So in order to do randomness, you have to implement... Oh, my favorite, as far as esoteric languages are concerned, this is my favorite. We have whitespace. Oh boy, we have whitespace. It's beautiful. It's just the most beautiful language. It's compilable whitespace code. And here's actually explaining what it does. Oh, it's so nice. It's just amazing. Hey, Gibbous. Oh, wait, I already said hey. Why did I say hey again? Let's see, what do we have here? I don't want to touch Bogosort, if I can help it. Whitespace is my favorite. It's so good. It's so cool. I love this so much. Like, everything about the algorithm archive is just the perfect project. I love it so much. Like, it's just so beautiful. Like, okay, it just works so well. It's like you have the algorithm archive, you've got the Twitch stream, you've got the YouTube videos. It's just such a nice, wonderful, cohesive like, just, I love it. It's amazing. Like, this particular thing is so cool, and I just want it to succeed, And I just, I don't know. I want it to succeed. Anyway, fine, fair enough. For computers, let's go ahead and get through these next 3 paragraphs, explain what we can, and then we're going to try, and obviously you guys can help me tomorrow, come back and figure out the best visualization for this. This is what we're going to try to figure out. What is the ideal way to present this to people such that it makes intuitive sense? That's what we're trying to go for. Easter, the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I'm in a whitespace interpreter. I could probably verify whitespace code. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them out there, but definitely. Okay, so we're going to finish this. So the last thing is the expression 6D, which works the same way. Increasing D by some number y indicates that the full moon occurs y days later this year, and hence we should compensate y days less. Adding 6D to mod 7, the same as subtracting D, which is desired operation. Thus, again, we do subtraction by adding under modulo arithmetic. In total, the variable e contains the step from the day of the full moon to the nearest following Sunday, between 0 and 6 days ahead. The constant n provides the starting point for the calculation of each century and depends on where January 1st, year 1, is implicitly located when the Gregorian calendar is constructed. So we're talking about this step here. Okay? So the expression d plus e yields offsets onto the range 0 to 35, pointing to the possible Easter Sundays on March 22nd to April 26th. For reasons of historical compatibility, all offsets of 35 and some 34 are subtracted by 7. Jumping one Sunday back to the day before the full moon, this means that the 26th April is never Easter Sunday and the 19th April is overrepresented. Okay. I'm getting it. So basically, this algorithm will place some events on 26th of April. And so they put some of those on the 19th of April, which is why we see this peak on the 19th of April. Okay. This is actually kind of cool. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of this. Okay. These letter corrections are for historical reasons only and has nothing to do with the mathematical algorithm. Using Gauss's Easter algorithm for years prior to 1583 is historically pointless since the Gregorian calendar was not utilized for determining Easter before that year. Using the algorithm far into the future is questionable since we know nothing about how different churches will define Easter far ahead. Easter calculations are based on agreements and conventions, not the actual celestial movements, nor the indisputable facts of history. This is so cool. It's so cool. Okay, let me go ahead and right, so I think I caught up. I don't know if I said thanks for following Atastibite. Thanks so much. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Okay, so now I'm kind of getting this idea that we might be able to... Oh gosh, I need to think about this. So, right, there are two parts of the algorithm, right? So let's just go back here at the top. There's two parts of the algorithm. The first part is the approximate tracking of the lunar orbiting, and the second part is the exact deterministic offsetting to obtain Sunday following the full moon. Okay, what does that mean? So this means that we have two calendars we're keeping track of, right? We have the lunar calendar, and then we have the Gregorian calendar. And I feel like there's this way to be able to... There has to be a way that I could just draw a calendar, right? Like I'm just imagining this visualization where I just, journal new page before, I just draw a calendar, here's your calendar, whatever. And I take an operation and I distribute it onto the possible options for the Sundays, right? So here's all of your Sunday options. And then we basically point to the one, I mean, maybe this is overkill. So, but the idea would be that, one of them in particular is chosen. I gotta rethink. I need to think of how we're gonna do this. So I'm only now getting the intuition. So I'm not sure if I have a good understanding of the best way to visualize this. C52. I made a brain F interpreter in Scratch. I think you showed that, and it was one of the most. It's incredible. And then you accidentally load your whitespace code in an editor that tries to be nice by removing unnecessary whitespace. Oh boy. I made a whitespace interpreter. There's an old Perl CPAN module that encodes your data with whitespace. I forget the name, 20 years old. That's a nutty formula. It's O1 kappa. What's your main area of study? I'll answer that in just a second. Let me catch up on chat. That reminds me of a classical way to corrupt image files. Open them in Windows, Notepad, which deletes invalid characters, and then save them without making any changes yourself. Oh boy. You can use Luxor.jl package, I think. Oh, what's that? Is that the moon casting light on the date? Yeah, okay, I can see how that could be complicated. Yeah, because you have lunar orbits. Okay, we need to think about it. Luxor, Julia. What is this? Julia Graphics. Luxor.jl. Ah, right. Oh, okay. I've been using... So we have our own visualization library that I've been using called GathVL. But I was thinking, I mean, maybe... This is essentially Cairo for Julia, which is what we're using for GathVL. Let's think about it. As far as my actual area of study, I do GPU computing, which is computing with graphics processing units. And recently I've been focusing a lot on this problem, the Climate Modeling Alliance. So I've been focusing on mainly ocean simulations and stuff like that, but I'm really just getting my feet wet there. So really I focus mainly on GPU computation, massively distributed GPU computation, this type of stuff. So that's my primary focus. I like it. It's a lot of fun. Mainly supercomputing, this type of stuff. So massive parallelization, all that kind of stuff. So if that's interesting to you, feel free to stick around. I'm sure I'll talk about it a lot during stream. But yeah, so I think we've gone through and we've talked about Gauss's Easter algorithm. I think I have a kind of, they're like, I don't know how to put this, like images that are kind of flirting through my head, ideas of how I can make this visualizable, but I don't yet know the best way to do it. So I think this might be a good place to stop for today. And we come back tomorrow and we focus entirely on visualization. I'm going to spend some time tomorrow morning and probably during lunch tomorrow to write up the section on the algorithm archive and kind of go through that and figure out how to piece it together. So I have an exact idea of what visualizations we need, and then we can just hammer them out, you know? Chinese remainder theorem, I don't. So guys, if there's anybody that you want to host at the end of this raid, or anybody that you want to raid at the end of this stream, I'm sorry, I got that completely wrong. Feel free to let me know. There's a couple of people live. We've got Lana Lux. She does some wonderful programming stuff, game dev, this type of stuff. Caitlin does what? I don't even know why. I don't remember her. I feel like I should remember her. I think she's a dev. Skylius is currently playing Halo. Loading Artist, Dr. WD40 is live talking about coronavirus stuff. CM Griffin, Raimu, lots of people live. So if you want to raid somebody, let me know who, and we can totally raid that person. Let's see. I was just looking at the Chinese remainder theorem and I got freaking... in number theory, Chinese remainder theorem states that if one knows the remainders of the Euclidean divisions of integer n by several integers, then one can determine uniquely the remainder of the division of n by the product of these integers under the condition that the divisors are pairwise coprime. That is a statement that I don't understand. So no, I don't know the Chinese remainder theorem. Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Let's see. I had to write proofs for Chinese remainder in my CS courses. Having flashbacks late night. I'm sorry, I should have done that. Sun Tzu? Oh, of course it's Sun Tzu. Let's see. Thane and Hayes Anderson, thank you guys so much for following. And right, so if you guys have anybody that want me to raid at the end of stream, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I might just pick someone on my own. I'm kind of going towards I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Raimu. I think maybe Raimu. What do you guys think? If there's somebody interesting that you want to raid in particular, let me know. I haven't done. I mean, I do Tim all the time. We could also do. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the microphone. I hope that wasn't too loud. We could also do. Yeah, let's do Raimu. Let's do Raimu. Let's go ahead and start that. So let's do raid Raimu. Let's see. 8354. Okay, and that is it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming in. If you haven't already, please feel free to join us on Discord. And that should be it. Thanks guys so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it happens to be your time. And hopefully I'll be live tomorrow talking about how to visualize Gauss's Easter algorithm. It should be a lot of fun, and I'll see you then. Bye guys. Thanks again, and have a great time. Bye guys.